Welcome back to the Pudding Boys podcast, helping you on Wednesdays to glide through the week like a greased seal on smooth ice. In this week's episode, we're going to be touching on heavy metal giants Iron Maiden's newest album, Naruto, and taking an overly opinionated, tiered look at Pokemon's past and present rivals. My name is still Blore, and his name is still Naylor. And Naylor, what have you been up to this week?
Well, I've been off. I've been away from work, and my dad has recently had his hip operation.
Oh.
So, obviously, we've been playing with Legos.
Excellent.
So, a couple of months ago, we've been locked in. We're sent to our rooms. We're not allowed out.
No.
And my dad went on Amazon, bought out of his mind, and bought one of the Technic bike things.
Oh, like a motorbike?
Yeah, because he used to ride bikes and, can't now because hips.
Yeah.
So he said instead, okay, Lego, we'll fill the void. It does. I don't know what it is. I genuinely think you hit a point about 30 where you look back and you think, actually, I kind of want to be about 8 again.
Yeah. What is it called again? Adult collectors of Lego.
There's lots of names.
There's an abbreviation.
And it's so good. Cause the thing, you know what it's like. You watch TV. I talked about it last time. TV, that kind of thing. I mean, it's absolutely horrible.
It's boring.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
Something is going wrong today somewhere.
Yeah.
And that's
you mean like news, like scary TV?
Yeah, like bad TV.
Frightening
current
TV.
events is just the worst.
Mm.
But so instead, I'm just focusing on the next piece.
Yeah.
And these things, I'm going to go on, right? They're cool, and I'm not just saying that because. I'm having a really nice week sitting in my office.
Is this a big Technic kit?
Oh, there's some big. We've gone for the cars because we still want to look like we're kind of grown up.
Yeah.
So we've got a couple of the cars. It's kind of crept up a bit. It started with the bike. It started with they're on offer on Amazon, so I'll grab one.
I best grab a cheeky one while it's still on offer.
Exactly. The old logic was, because back in the day we used to go and watch Derby. If we were booked Saturday afternoon. So 2 tickets, about 25-30 quid a head. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you like that kind of thing. Obviously can't do that or couldn't do that recently. So that was kind of the benchmark. We've never spent £130 to go and see Derby play.
No.
But the Land Rover or the Range Rover, whichever one he's just bought.
Oh! Is this like an officially licensed...
Oh, yeah. Let's see if I can pop you up a picture. You guys over in internet land won't be able to see this thing. But it is massive. It does not look out of place. When a man holds it.
When a man holds his Land Rover.
When a man drives his Land Rover around his office desk.
So yeah, what I'm seeing here is the new Defender, new Land Rover. That's cooler than the actual new Defender.
It is. There's a lot less explaining. If you buy a Lego kit at 30, 60, whatever.
You don't have to justify it as much as the new Defender.
Exactly. You don't have to explain other choices that you're making at the same time.
Because I'm planning on going off-road with it,
Exactly. Yeah. I'm never going to take this to the farm. That's driving around with it. It's not even driving. It sits on my desk. And it reminds me that the outdoors is out there.
Now, your dad has bought this because he has had an operation, and you're going to his house to build this.
Kind of. No, we go the other way. So, because 2-man building Lego is going to get competitive.
Oh.
You're going to fall. You've both got a system. Some of you stack the bits. Some of you separate into, sections. Some of you do bag at a time.
Yeah, are you splitting the bags?
And I tend to keep, open bag, dump parts out, because I know logically it's going to be there somewhere. I am not one of these people that takes, half a day sorting the pieces, because I can
James,
see...
Mate.
Oh, God. I love James, mate, but...
You couldn't
James,
build.
if you want to come on here, come and justify your choices. I don't think I could build with the man. I'd love to be proved wrong. But no, what we do, one of us builds it, takes it apart, the other one comes over under some loose piece. I went to get some bathroom fill yesterday.
Oh, so you build it entirely yourself, and then your father builds it entirely yourself.
Exactly.
That is the strangest father-son bonding I have ever heard in my entire life.
Taking apart, because the one that comes, the one that follows,
Ralph when his heart breaks.
It hurts a little bit. The one that follows judges the quality of the dismantling.
Ooh, that one was too easy to snap apart, and so he's blaming you for the breakability of it.
He's like, yeah, that's the thing. That's where you're kind of getting to.
Man, that sounds good. I haven't built a Lego kit in 5 years, maybe. Tower of Orthanc from Lord of the Rings was the last one.
I remember it. I remember it dominating your living room.
It did dominate. It's now in pieces in the attic, like all of the Lord of the Rings and Arctic Lego.
Kind of what happens.
I haven't got the room. I haven't got the room to put all the Lego kits. I'd like to build them. I'd like to have the room, but they get dusty.
That's the dust.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of things getting a little bit dusty.
Oh, that is a smooth transition.
If it wasn't for that stupid ringing, this would be polished.
This would be clear. If you heard the ringing, by the way, that's our timer to try and rein in our waffling.
It's loosely working.
Yeah, it kind of worked. It kind of worked. So, as you said, speaking of dust, Iron Maiden's new Naruto Senjutsu Komodo.
They've changed spheres.
Yes, their new album Senjutsu. If you Google it, it'll come up with some kind of weeby wiki. But it is an Iron Maiden album. It's obviously you know about it. Everyone knows about it. It's the number one in the UK, I think.
I think so.
Or joint with Drake.
That sounds about right.
So I mean that's good for a metal album these days, but
it's not though.
I listened to it when it came out, and I was talking to you while I was listening to it, and then I listened to it again, and then after I decided to talk about it on the podcast, I planned to listen to it at least twice more. I have listened to it halfway through since I made that plan, because
that's the problem, isn't it? Though it's
a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Because I did the one before. Those of you that are fans, Book of Souls, about 4 or 5 years ago now. It's been a while.
It was. Book of Souls was 2015, 6 years ago.
6 years. Oh. So I was doing some work up in Chesterfield, which is not far from here, about an hour. It's about a Book of Souls up the motorway.
Yeah.
So I was that was my car. My car used to have a CD player. And a couple of listens in, I could pretty much pull every track off. There were a couple of really slapped on.
There is Empire of the Clouds.
There's Empire of the Clouds.
Carrying that out. I mean, it's not a bad album, much like Senjutsu's not a bad album, don't get me wrong.
But Empire of the Clouds is a phenomenal song.
Yeah, but Empire of the Clouds is fantastic. On Senjutsu, it's I don't want to come across like I'm saying this is rubbish. Iron Maiden don't know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're Iron Maiden. But it is a bit boring. It is a bit much to get through, especially after being spoilt with things like Halloween's Doom album, or the Mastodon released one track off their album that's coming out in October, and I'm more interested, even though that song's a little bit cut and paste, I'm more interested in that album already than I am Senjutsu.
It's cut and paste a bit better. I mean, I really want to I love Iron Maiden.
We were talking about how we were gonna listen to it tons because we hadn't been into Iron Maiden enough recently.
We were going to go back and score it like we did with the Halloween stuff. We're going to still do that. You're going to hear these episodes.
Oh yeah. But we're going to have to run through that.
It feels like it needs a running start, but I don't feel like I'm really going to be able to give it that. And I mean, I think the biggest thing for me here, and you look at the track list, I'm actually looking at it right now. I still couldn't describe half of the songs, where one stops and where one finishes.
The thing I didn't really like Writing on the Wall when it came out as a single, and I liked it a bit more when I heard it on the album. Some people said it was the mixing. I just thought it was a bit dull, but it's not that bad, and there is a cool riff, their musicianship comes through. But listening to it, I was like, okay, Days of Future Past is kind of cool, it's okay, but there's nothing, Death of the Celts, it's okay, it's cool. Nothing kind of grabs you.
It could be shorter. I think that...
Almost every song on this album could be short. The second half, or the second disc, I should say,
it should be a double album.
No, it should be short. It's 10 tracks. It's 10 tracks, and those last 4, I think,
an album,
are long. They are long, and do you know what? I couldn't tell you if they're that repetitive because I lose concentration It's not like I can listen to like Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, where I'm hooked and I'm listening to every change. It's not like that. It's not even like when Ed Guy try and do a long song, and we used to say, "Oh, Ed Guy, stop pretending you're Iron Maiden. You can't do the long songs." I was more interested in Age of the Joker's long songs than I am Senjutsu's. That is.
But it was a little. But that was a bit self-depreciating. Like they knew they were Ed Guy doing an Iron Maiden.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this one kind of feels like it's almost. I mean, I don't want to speak ill because I love Iron Maiden. Like,
so
the
do
James
I.
May thing.
So do I.
If Iron Maiden want to come in here and talk us through the writing process, I will sit cross-legged on the goddamn floor.
Yeah, I mean, we should clarify that we could never write any of the tracks on this album. When we used to be in a band, we never came close to any of these. We understand that they are Iron Maiden, they know what they're doing, but if you would let me take you on a past 21 years of Iron Maiden, Bruce came back after leaving Brave New World. Every single track may not be technically impressive. Almost every chorus is just the title shouted at you, but they are slapping. They are great tracks.
Brave New World, I always go, to the start of Rock in Rio.
Yeah.
Just Adrian Smith, that leather vest kind of thing. Wicker Man.
Yeah.
And that just, like, hoofs you. Like, if you've eaten a Serene that morning, that is going to go firing out.
A Serene malt loaf.
In perfect form.
That will come flying out of your backside. But Iron Maiden's Wicker Man, I don't know why I said Iron Maiden's Wicker Man, we're talking about Iron Maiden. But when, in the video, he's bouncing that giant balloon around for some reason. But it makes you want to grab a big balloon and start bouncing it around.
Oh, god damn, yeah.
It's hype as shit. So, Bruce comes back. Brave New World. Brilliant. Dance of Death.
I will fight you. You try and talk down.
You like it more than me. I get it. Passchendaele's great. Rainmaker's okay.
Dance of Death, I think they went one. They kind of did what they did here a bit. They kind of went, because Wicker Man, they did what they do very, very well.
Yeah.
Very, very well. Dance of Death, it felt like they went a little bit further to each side.
Dance of Death has more variety.
Yes.
Because Brave New World is just like punch, 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 punch.
You've got like the softer ones on Dance of Death.
So Dance of Death, I concede it's a good album. It is a good album. It's not my favourite, and we used to wind each other up about this all the time.
Like
that's
a 20-year-old debate.
Yeah. So that's 2003.
Oof.
Then 2006 comes along, and Matter of Life and Death comes out, which I couldn't name you any tracks off the top of my head.
I could hum you about 3, and that's the thing. That album kind of slips in because there was a bit of a gap.
Yeah.
That album kind of slips past me a little bit.
It was a bit dull.
It was. It was kind of like they went back to the Brave New World formula.
But without...
Not without the slap.
Yeah, without the slap, without the hooks.
Mm.
So then we got that 2006, Final Frontier 2010. Final Frontier is the first time, when you hear what was it called, the Wind Blows one?
Yes.
When that starts up with have you heard on the news or something, that's actively bad. I was a bit...
It almost kind of felt like, Bruce does with his solo stuff phenomenally
Incredibly.
well. Unbelievably well. It's
Accident
like he
of
tried
Birth.
to bring some of that deep thinking and kind of to Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
And it didn't land. It just didn't land.
No.
It's a shame because, again, Final Frontier, there are a couple of songs on there I
Yeah.
do really actually quite like. But I'm never going to put the album on.
No, I've got it. I think I've got your copy of it.
I think you have actually.
But I'm not going to be playing it in a hurry. Then we got Book of Souls. We talked about Book of Souls. I think it's okay. I think I like it more than people online seem to.
Yeah, it's my favourite since Dance of Death.
Yeah.
On record, Dance of Death's my favourite album. I would say it's my second favourite Iron Maiden album. Before anyone jumps down our throats here, it's not the second best Iron Maiden album. But it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, you come away humming.
Yeah, I like Book of Souls. I'd say Book of Souls... I probably like Book of Souls more than I like Dance of Death.
I disagree.
I get that.
We've done this, and we will do this. When we score these albums, there'll be a feature length.
We'll have a knife fight, and it'll be glorious.
The last episode
of
this podcast.
After Book of Souls, we've got Senjutsu, and I'm seeing people online saying oh, it's great. Iron Maiden still got it. They're amazing. Blah blah blah. They do still got it. I'm not.
It's not bad. I don't want anyone here to think that we're diving down their throats and saying Iron Maiden should stop.
No,
like,
God, no.
Like,
no.
I would see them again tomorrow.
Because I would love to go and see them again. I just want Brave New World again.
I want the fun again, and I get it. Like, I think that was the disappointing bit, and we'll come back around to the point you made a little bit. We're going to talk about them a lot because we both are a bit soft for them.
Yeah.
But Halloween this year, with everything that's gone on over the last 2 years, delivered a fun album.
They promised a lot, and they delivered it.
It was, and it was just like a good time. This one, it's just not a good. Like, I think that's the biggest problem. It's not a particularly good time.
No,
it's definitely not our best.
It's
time.
not the best time. But that song is fantastic. Now, some people in some of the Halloween groups that I frequent, I don't really get this in England. Maybe it's a bigger thing in Germany or South America. They see Halloween and Iron Maiden as rivals.
Are we talking about rivals going a bit soft over time here?
We're talking about rivalries falling down the toilet, Ross.
Oh, God.
Tell me about Pokemon's rivals.
So, for anybody listening, no meta-analysis here whatsoever. We are not going to be doing a deep dive on how teams work. We are not going to.
It has been far too long since either of us even opened Smogon.
Oh, God. That spreadsheet is not up to date with the stats. You are going to hear about this one later when we talk about knife fights. We're going to get some trash talk in here. We might, when the new games land, we could probably play some live.
Yeah.
Just to, we might have to put like an adult rating on that one. So it's a little bit spicy.
It's going to get spicy.
What isn't spicy, and it really winds me up, the recent rivals you've had in Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's because obviously we know there's a couple of new games coming out. There's the remakes, there's the Arceus thing.
Yeah, Diamond and Pearl remakes and the Pokemon Legends Arceus Legends.
Yeah. Yeah. So that one I can't actually see how you're going to have a rival in that. It doesn't feel like it's going to be as battly.
Isn't it Team Plasma or Galactic before they went bad?
That feels like it. It's a bit like a peripheral kind of. There's something that, but it's not like you've got. And this is what I loved.
It'll be an antagonist, not a rival. It'll be like N. N is not a rival. He's an antagonist.
Yeah.
Although,
but he did a much better job, and we're going to like. Oh,
N's fantastic.
N does it. But that's the thing. Those of us that grew up playing it can hum the goddamn music. You're coming to the end of a cave. You are you're blowing. Yeah. And you get that.
That Machop just slapped you a little too hard.
You know what's coming.
Yeah.
Gary broke.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and he's gonna smell you later.
He's such a dick. Like, that's the best part of it. Like, he's your rival. You grew up. There is a rival with that. But he is so good at it.
Yeah, his trash talk is fantastic.
Yeah, I think most of ours was lifted straight out of the Gary Oak kind of playbook.
Yeah, just throw in a couple of swear words.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a lot spicier.
Smell you later.
And then you just have to cut the rest.
Yeah.
But it was, and it used to make like that music starting to play. As a kid, your blood used to run a bit cold.
Yeah. Oh, because you forgot.
Struggle. Yeah.
This was the 6th time you restarted playing Pokemon Blue.
It's the end of Mount Moon. You're just getting the hang of it, but you forgot.
You forgot that Gary Oak is coming around the corner.
And it was like, he was great because he made you want to keep playing the game because you had to keep eating, you had to keep leveling, you had to keep. It wasn't going to spoon feed you.
No.
And I love that. And I think like Gold and Silver took that one for like Silver was genuinely. If you you read like the cutscene bits.
Hold on, I promised a tier. So Gary Oak, I think
obviously tier Gary Oak.
S tier.
He's
S tier.
This isn't an original idea. There are people that have been talking about your Pokemon rivals online since the dawn of time. I'm not professing this original. I don't think I've ever seen anybody put Gary Oak below top tier. They might not be best, but he's in that upper kind of centile.
You got to have some respect.
Exactly. And they kind of took that one further with Silver.
Or, sorry, before we get a million comments from all of our 2 listener.
Us.
Yeah, us. Blue Green. That's his name.
Yes.
His name is Blue or Green, not Gary Oak.
But it's Gary
Oak. You nicknamed him Gary or fart.
Yeah.
They were the choices.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it depends. Like if your parents would tell you off.
Yeah, if they would look.
A Pokemon game.
But sorry, I stopped you at Silver.
No, I think it's fair, and we're kind of, again, we're not being completely spot on here. I'm going to skip Trace from Go because.
No one cares about Go. I don't care about Go.
No, I don't either. That's what we're here to talk about. Silver actually took it like a little bit darker.
Oh, he was the beef.
He was a bit like
stole
mean as well.
Yes.
And he was a bit dark. Obviously not Giovanni's son or something, and kind of or some kind of relation to
that kind of.
There was something like sinister. Like Gary was just a bit of a dig.
Yeah.
Silver might actually have been bad.
Yeah, well, he stole his starter because
he does.
Because the male or female version of the main character, I think, was in the game, but isn't a rival. They're more of a
passerby
friend. Yeah. They're studying Pokemon more than battling, I think.
And so, like, I mean, I've got this. I'm not going to talk teams because we'll be here for hours. But you know, you look at Gary's team, you look at Silver's team. You get towards end game, they're pretty well balanced.
They've got big hits.
They have got some cool mon.
They've got some scary mon that are gonna. Ooh.
They have. I mean, looking at like Silver's when you meet him at Indigo Plateau, you've got a Magneton, you've got a Sneasel.
Oh,
you
yeah.
haven't dealt with before. You've not played against dark Pokemon really.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're coming in knowing it. It kind of steps it up a little bit. But I think this is where the rot sets in.
Yeah, it goes progressive. Well, I wouldn't want to say progressively downhill, because although Brendan, May, and Wally and Hoenn aren't great, Sinnoh's Barry is not great, but there's Cherin. I like Cherin.
I was going to say Brendan, May, Wally, and Barry.
Yeah.
I do kind of drop into. They're not quite your rival. They're not quite an antagonist. Silver's more an antagonist.
Yeah. So Silver, are we saying?
I'm putting him in the top tier. We go.
Oh, you S tier. Yeah.
Different
okay.
character.
I can feel that.
I'm putting him up there. Brendan, May, Wally, and Barry. We are lumping together, I think, aren't we? And they're pretty.
If anything, I remember Barry being less annoying than the modern ones.
Oh.
So maybe
he's not bottom tier.
No, and do you know what? So was Wally. Even though his character was supposed to be like a whinge bag, they're not bottom. They're not bad.
And they still challenge you a little bit. Like they weren't as difficult. When you come to play them.
They'd get you on a Nuzlocke.
Yeah. But Cherin.
But hold on. Brendan, May, Wally, Barry, we're lumping them together.
Yeah.
If Gary and Silver are S, C?
Yeah.
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 There is a big gap. They're not awful, but there's a big gap.
Yeah. They're not frightening you
when
you play the game through.
They're not frightening, and you don't want them to keep talking.
That's you're bashing A and you're not reading what's coming out.
Cherin, though. Cherin I liked. I like the whole Cherin and Bianca.
Yeah.
These are Unova's rivals. Spoiler alert, Unova is both mine and Naylor's favourite game in the series.
I do think that helps it. Like that, we did Sapphire Ruby, we did Diamond Pearl, but we came back horde for Black and White.
We had just started uni, didn't we?
We had. Yeah. We found a couple of little like Acosta, Starbucks, that kind of thing. Places that you could sit in the corner with a couple of DS lights, wasn't it, at the time?
Yeah, DS lights.
Yeah. So, you could carry them around, you're not worried too much about people standing on an expensive console. You could sit in the corner and you could just say horrible things. And this was still like 2010, so you could still say horrible things to each other in public places.
Yeah.
And, you might get a scolding look from a mother and her children.
Yeah.
You weren't going to get cancelled.
We were probably edgier than we needed to be.
Oh, we were trying.
And we were probably a bit louder than we needed to be as well. Especially two almost grown men playing Pokemon.
Yeah.
Didn't need to be that loud.
It's the closest we've ever been to Brian Blessed.
Yes.
Shout
your Pikachu to death.
And I think Cherin and Bianca, it kind of picked up a little bit.
Yeah.
They didn't scare me. They didn't
Bianca, maybe I could lump in with Barry and them lot. Cherin, I would say Cherin is a solid A.
I think so.
I liked him. I liked him. He looks cool as well.
One of few A's we're going to hit.
Mm. Yeah, looking at the list, I got them in front of me. Yeah. Hugh, I could probably skip past because even though I like Black and White 2, when I saw him, I was like, well, hold on, I don't remember him. I had to look at it. He looks like a Digimon tamer.
I'm not a huge fan as well of this, but like I get it, but I'm not a huge fan of the Black and White 2, Sun Moon, Ultra Sun Moon.
Oh, you don't want the sequel?
Not really.
Right.
But it's probably 'cause I'm not used to it. We're not going to go into that bit. We'll tell them how to do Pokemon in a couple of months.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about how we should be consulted on Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Having made no money from the game.
Oh yeah.
In 25 years. Kalos, again, Callum and Serena. Any kind of.
Do you know what? Callum and Serena being your rival because they're the reverse of each other, aren't they? If you pick the male, Serena, and then if you pick the female, you get Callum. Neither of them has any personality.
I don't, unless you are somebody that does this competitively or streams it or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you turn and say name one of them on, no one's doing that.
Unless you are. I can't remember the guy's name. There's a guy that does amazing Nuzlogs. I'll find him another time. Unless you're him, you're not going to know anything they're going to do because you're probably planning ahead. You know.
I think that's the. I mean, Gary, you kind of always went back to that. God damn executor. That was that and Silver with the Crobat. You know, not being able to hit it, that kind of thing. You're not picking out a mon from them and thinking that was tough. No.
But Callum and Serena, I could put into. Did we say C for?
That seems
for them lot?
Fair. I'd put them on a par with.
They don't offend me. Now the other three rivals from that game. Three more rivals: Shauna, Tierno, and Trevor. They are the beginning.
That's the rot because.
Of the end.
I get it's a kid's game. At its heart, it's designed for
It's a child's. I'm not pretending it's not a child's game.
But I don't really want like the friend should be the Pokemon. That's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah.
I don't need like somebody coming around with the toilet paper like on the balance on their fingers like this.
Please take a slice.
Take a slice, sir. Let me help you with that.
Or Tierno telling you about his dance moves.
And come to Pokemon to dance.
You beat him so hard.
He'll never dance. He'll never walk again, let alone dance again.
They're never gonna dance again. Yeah, those three D.
Yes, they set the rot.
The three of them together. Even though I'd probably dislike Tierno more.
A little bit lower. Like special
maybe Tierno E.
Yeah.
The other two, D. We're probably saying his name wrong, but I've never heard it said out loud.
Yeah, and that brings us, if we're setting up a special E tier, can we create an F for Hal? Because, god damn, that boy.
Hal is in negative S tier.
So...
He was a meme, wasn't he? He was a meme online.
Yeah, like, everyone got it. There was no ambiguity with Hal. And, like, are we missing something? No.
Everyone hated Hal.
And Pokemon, like, I don't play Pokemon to have a chill. Again, the cheerleader will be the noise in the stadium as I'm standing over, like,
Hal's
Gary while he cries.
Yeah.
But, like, Hal, I don't want him to be doing me favours.
No.
After I've beaten him.
Let me rub your back and heal your Pokemon before we battle. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he did that.
Gary was, like, literally chucking sand in your eyes as you came out of Mount
Yeah, pocket sand.
Yeah. But... How is like literally bringing you like a refreshing beverage, and like he'd probably let you have a little nap before.
It'd probably like massage you.
And it
essentially.
Be, I was trying to say it was getting into like
this
is where Pokemon grew up.
Yeah, but the wrong way.
Bad way. Yeah, bad touch.
Gladion though, same game. Same game.
I think they put him in because Hal was such a simp.
Yeah. He is a simp for the main character. Yeah.
They put Gladion in, and do you know what? Like, he's super edgy. He annoys the tits off me with that. But, and we'll talk about super edgy in a minute. But as a antagonist rival, I'm gonna put him second to our boy from Black and White.
Yeah, I think if we put him in B.
No, it's going to put N in A, isn't it?
N, to me, even though he's an antagonist more than a rival, but he's not the antagonist, Getsus is. N, to me, is S.
Yeah. He adds that little bit of spice.
He's got a character, he's interesting.
He's the first one to have a real story since Silver.
Yeah.
And I think that tells... And again, you really want to beat him.
Yeah,
and
you want to beat him,
kind of about.
But also you want to be him.
You
want that green hair and that cool cap and that anime smile.
And that just slightly lackadaisical kind of rich kid vibe.
It's got the same vibe as, what's his name, L from Death Note.
Yes. Yeah, just that kind of affected, not bothered.
That's the weebiest sentence I've ever said in my entire life.
We'll cut that in.
We'll chop that part out.
We'll muffle that.
Gladion B. Then it takes us. Let's skip the main rival and just have a quick chat about Bede. Bidet.
Because that's what I use him as.
I don't dislike Bede.
I do, but because you're meant to. And that is the mark of an excellent mark.
I like the fact that every time you absolutely wreck him, he's just like, well, you're a bitch. Still, you're still a bitch.
He's like, you probably don't, you're not a big football man.
No, I don't know anything about football.
You watch the Premier League managers, like, from this point in the week through to Saturday, and they're basically talking about, like, well, if we lose, it isn't my fault because... And Bede's kind of that guy. Like, Bede could probably take Burnley to mid-table and, like, blame his small budget for not taking them to the Champions League.
Someone, somewhere, understood that sentence.
There's a really,
it's not me,
small subset of
people who someone that sat through a topic about Lego, Iron Maiden, and then Pokemon. Someone somewhere understands that. We need to find that person. That is our listener.
That is our listener, yeah. They're probably at Burnley this weekend, so they're probably not going to hear this till, like...
Probably. So, Bede, I like him. I'm thinking A.
He's not an S.
No. His team is never actually any good.
Yeah, and he's not big. He's not a big enough threat.
No. I like the fact he becomes a gym leader. I'm punching the air because I'm pumped for Bede. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Marnie... Now, Marnie, this is where we get into some of the problems with Pokemon. And we're not going to go too deep into it because I'm not talking about it on my podcast. Marnie was cool. I thought quite cool. I liked Marnie's brother and I liked the whole setup there with Spike Myth. I didn't like what happens when you go on the internet and Google Marnie.
Lucario kind of.
Yeah, Lucario and Charizard. Any
Amorphous
female character in Pokemon, but it was really quite odd.
She's definitely meant to be someone's little sister. Sister being the operative,
But I would put Marnie below.
She's not Bede.
I don't dislike her.
I don't hate her.
Yeah, so she's not as cool as Bede. No. But she's as good as Cherin in my book.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
I think we put him at A.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So I put her at A. I thought she was quite cool. I thought she was quite a cool character.
She wasn't.
I like the whole Team Yell, like cheering.
Yeah, I did. I even like the music. Yeah. Like that's kind of catchy. It was a bit of a change.
Yeah.
With the whole the
Vuvuzelas. That was an incredibly out of date reference.
Very, very.
But it was so good.
Oh,
no one.
And they would put you off.
Yeah, no one that has ever visited England made that game.
No, they're watching World Cup footage of England playing, and I think that was South.
And they think, they love vuvuzelas. Let's put them in.
On a sidebar, I'm going to bring a vuvuzela when the Diamond and Pearl remakes land, and we go to Costa to play them out. I'm bringing a vuvuzela. And I'm going to ruin everybody else's relaxing first coffee.
Do you know the good thing about that? We can both go to Costa. You can have a vuvuzela, but I can be in a different Costa because Wi-Fi.
You'll still be able to hear the goddamn
I'm not going to sit next to you with the vuvuzela.
You could be in Hemel Hempstead's Costa, and you would still hear the vuvuzela.
Now, we're coming towards the end of this topic, and there's only one left.
Hop, who carries you around the thing in his little car.
But if Hal was a simp for the main character, Hop is an Omega simp
Hop spends
for
the
his
entire
brother.
game tripping over his dick over his brother. Like, I mean, I get it. And do you know what? I like the concept. I like the.
I get it. Leon's cool.
Yeah, but he's got to be trying to get away and become the Pokemon Master.
Why
just
do you?
to stop Hal sniffing his boxes?
Why do you think he goes and lives at the top of Rose Tower at the end? He did not give Hop the key card to get in that elevator.
Oh, he's changing his number at least once a year, just because his mum gives it to Hop to ask him when he's coming home for Christmas.
Yeah.
And Hop just starts to what are you doing today, bro?
Yeah.
Like the same thing 4 minutes ago. Are you being cool today? Oh God, Hop was, and that's where the slide kind of comes to, because Hop as your rival. No motivation to beat him, and it kind of softens the game.
If Hop was the only rival in Galar, I would have hated that story, or that it's not really a story, but that main game.
Yeah,
I would have really hated that, because that would have been like the How issue, because Gladion's not in it enough to remedy it. It's not like Bede and Marnie where they're in it quite a lot.
I think they must have realised, that Pokemon, it's meant to be a kids' game. It's all about the hate.
Yeah.
We proved that
kids
10 years ago.
Kids don't need a digital pal. Kids want a rival.
They need somebody to go 20, what would it have been, 20, 21, 22, to be red-faced at 8 in the evening, screaming across a little coffee station table.
Yeah.
And somebody who was just if that focus blast had hit, you would be dead. Not your mom, you would be dead.
I feel like if you can use the rival's name as an insult, they're either the greatest rival. If I call you Gary Oak, I'm insulting you for being a jerk.
But
if I call you Hop, I'm insulting you on a whole other level. If I that means I just destroyed you.
The walk out is very different depending on which one of those you have called me.
Yeah.
And the Hop one is a real John Wayne kind of walk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm getting weird vibes from looking at these rivals and seeing Hop there. He's not a rival.
He's not. He's
not got the same stance.
What do they call the guy that carries your golf bats? Around his job is to walk around behind you.
Oh, caddy. I knew a
Hop.
sport.
Yeah.
I knew a sport thing.
It's also a car, isn't it? Though,
probably.
That looks like a golf.
And
bag.
is golf a sport?
If it is, I think Pokemon is too.
Yes, I'm happy with that.
We're sportsmen.
We are
Athletes.
sportsmen, and we are, athletes. I'll be applying for Pokemon to be added to the next Olympics. France? No.
Oh God, no! I have no idea.
No, neither do I. It was only just Japan anyway. Okay, I think we can about wrap that up.
I think we should probably wrap that up. I think we'll tell our listeners to stay well, stay fit. Very important to look after your physical fitness.
Athletes like us. Yeah, athletes like us.
Pokemon is the way to do that.
Yeah.
Build some Legos. It's a good time.
Build some Legos.
Take them apart. Give them to your dad.
Maybe listen to Senjutsu.
Try it.
Yeah.
Give it a try.
If you like it.
Tell us why. Because we don't know.
Yeah. Okay. See you later, guys.